We continue now on the top of Daf Lamed Amud Aleph in Maseches Brachos. This is Berachos Daf 30a. The Gemara just finished discussing the issue of Tfilas Haderech, and the Gemara had a text of Tfilas Haderech that was in the singular. So the Gemara here continues, L'shatef inish nafshe v'hadit tzibura. It is better that a person should include himself amongst the tzibur, meaning it is better that Tfilas Haderech should be said in a plural form. Hechi nema, how should it be said? Yehi ratzon milfanecha Hashem Elokeinu shetolichenu l'shalom, etc. It should be said in the plural, Elokeinu, our God, shetolichenu, that we should travel in peace. Gemara now says, Emas Matzli, when does a person say Tfilas Haderech? Amar Rabbi Yaakov, Amar Rav Chisda, Rabbi Yaakov says in the name of Rav Chisda, Mishash Mahalech Bederech, from the time that he leaves on the trip. Ad Kama, and until when? Amar Rabbi Yaakov, Amar Rav Chisda, Rabbi Yaakov says in the name of Rav Chisda, Ad Parsa, until a Parsa. There are two opinions in Rashi as to what Ad Parsa means. Rashi first says Ad Parsa, Avalola Achar Shalach Parsa. He has until he walks a Parsa. Once he walks a Parsa, it's too late to say Tfilas Haderech. He then quotes the Bahag, or Bahag Mefarish. The Bahag explains, Ad Kama Yavakesh Leilech Sheyitzarech Liespalel Ad Parsa. How long does the trip have to be in order to say Tfilas Haderech? It's a Parsa. Afilo Ein Lo Leilech Ad Parsa. Aval Derech Pachos Mi Parsa. If you have a trip less than a Parsa, Ein Tzarech Liespalel Tfilas Zo. You don't have to daven this Tfilas. So two explanations of what the Gemara means. Ad Parsa, is it until when you can say Tfilas Haderech, or for how long of a trip does the trip have to be to say Tfilas Haderech? Behechi matzli lana, how should he daven it? Rav Chisda Amar Me'umar. Rav Chisda says he should be standing up. Rav Sheshes Amar. Rav Sheshes says Afila Mahalech, even if the person is walking. Rav Chisda and Rav Sheshes have a ka'azli be'orcha. Rav Chisda and Rav Sheshes, they were walking on the road. Kam Rav Chisda v'kamatzli. Rav Chisda got up, meaning he stood, as was his opinion, and he said in order to say Tfilas Haderech. So he didn't do it while he was walking. Amar le Rav Sheshes l'shamei. Rav Sheshes said to his servant, "My ka'avid Rav Chisda." What is Rav Chisda doing? Now Rav Sheshes was blind, so he couldn't see what Rav Chisda was doing. So Amar le, so he said to him, "Kayomatzli." He's standing in order to say Tfilas Haderech. Amar le said, "Ukmanami ledidi." He said, "Let me stand as well." Va'atzli, and I'll say Tfilas Haderech. I'll daven miyos tov al tikara. A person, if he can be good, he should not be called bad. Meaning, if someone else is doing something, even if it's not his opinion, but there's no reason why Rav Sheshes should not just follow in the same way of Rav Chisda in this particular situation. The Gemara now addresses the tefillah ketzara that was mentioned in the Mishnah. The Mishnah said that if you're in an area of sakana, you say a short tefillah. So, mai ika bein havinenu letefillah ketzara. The Gemara wants to know what's the difference between havinenu, which was the abridged Shemona Esrei, and the saying of a tefillah ketzara. The Gemara says, havinenu boy letzaluye gimel kamaisu v'gimel basraisa. When it comes to havinenu, you need to daven the first three and the last three brachos of Shemona Esrei in full. V'chimati lebeise, and also when he gets to his house, lo boy lemahadar letzaluye. He doesn't need to daven again. However, with tefillah ketzar, when it comes to the short tefillah in the Mishnah, lo boy letzaluye lo gimel kamaisa lo gimel basraisa, there's no need to say the first three or last three brachos of the Shemona Esrei. V'chimati lebeise boy lemahadar letzaluye. And also when you get home, so right then you're on the road, but when you get home, you need to daven Shemona Esrei again. The Hilchas, the Gemara concludes the halacha is havinenu mu'umad. Havinenu should be said standing up. Tefillah ketzara bein mu'umad bein mahalech. Whereas the tefillah ketzara can be said standing up. It can also be said when a person is walking. We now quote the Mishnah. The Mishnah said, "Hayarochev alachamor." If a person is riding on a donkey, Gemara says, "Tan Rabban." We learned in a brayso, "Hayarochev alachamor." If a person is riding on a donkey, v'igiyaz man tefillah, and the time for davening comes, im yeshlo misha yochaz es chamor. If he has somebody to hold his donkey for him, yared lamati, he should go down from his donkey v'yaspal, and he should daven. V'imlaven, if not, yashab b'makom v'yaspal, he should daven while he's sitting on the chamor. Rebbe says, "Bein kach uvein kach yashab b'makom v'yispal." In all situations, it's better that a person should sit where he is and daven. Lefisha ein daitom yushav esolav. If he gets off the chamor, he's not good. His mind will not be settled. Amar Rava says, "V'yitem Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi." Some say it's Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi who says, "Halacha Rebbe." The halacha is like this latter opinion, like Rebbe. Gemara now addresses the issue of what direction a person should face when he's davening. Taner Rabbanan, we learned in a brayso, suma, a blind person, umisha enu yachol lechavin esaruchos, somebody who can't tell which directions are where. Yechavin libo keneged aviv shebashamayim, he should turn his heart towards his father in heaven. Shenemar, like it says, v'isbalu el Hashem, yidaven to Hashem. Now the Gemara says, "Hayomid b'chutzlarts." If a person is standing in chutzlarts, yechavin es libo keneged Eretz Yisrael. He should turn his attention towards Eretz Yisrael. Shenemar, like it says, "V'isbalu elecha derech artzam." They daven to their land. Hayomid b'Eretz Yisrael. A person's in Eretz Yisrael, yechavin es libo keneged Yerushalayim. He should turn towards Yerushalayim. Shenemar, like it says, "V'isbalu el Hashem derech ha'ir asher bacharta," towards the city which you chose. So that's towards Yerushalayim. Hayomid b'Yerushalayim. A person is standing in Yerushalayim, yechavin es libo keneged Beis Hamikdash. A person should turn his attention to the Beis Hamikdash. Shenemar, like it says, "V'isbalu el habayis hazeh." He should daven to this house. Hayomid b'Beis Hamikdash. A person standing in the Beis Hamikdash, Yechavin es libo connected base Kachei HaKadoshim. You should face the Kachei HaKadoshim. Shenamar, like it says, V'espalu el hamakom hazeh, in this place. Hayaomed beves Kachei HaKadoshim. Person standing in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. Yechavin es libo connected base HaKaporos. You should face the Kaporos, the Aron. Hayaomed achorei base HaKaporos. Yiratzmo kilo lifnei HaKaporos. Person behind the Kaporos should face towards as if he's in the front of the Kaporos. And the Brisa now concludes, what does all this mean? Nimsa comes out, Omed b'mizrach machzer part of Lamayrav. If a person's to the east of the Beis HaMikdash, he's going to end up facing west towards the Beis HaMikdash. B'mayrav machzer part of Lamizrach. If he's in the west, he'll face east. B'dara machzer part of L'tzafon. If he's in the south, he'll face north. B'tzafon machzer part of L'dar. When he's in the north of the Beis HaMikdash, he will face to the south. Nimsu, it comes out, Kol Yisrael mechavnin es libam l'makom echad. All of Klal Yisrael is facing one place. Amar Rabbi Avin v'Tamer Rabbi Avina. Rabbi Avin says, and some people say Rabbi Avina says, "My crow." What is the pasuk that hints to this? Kemigdal David Savarecha Bonoi Letalpios. So it calls it, when referring to the mountain, the har of the Beis HaMikdash, it calls it Talpios, which we understand to mean tail, the mountain, the hill. Shekol Pios Poninbo, that all mouths are turned towards. Gemara now, to the end of the Mishnah, will discuss what a person should do if he's in a situation where it's going to be hard to daven at the appropriate time of davening. So the Gemara first starts with a story with Avua de Shmuel v'Levi. There was a story with the father of Shmuel and Levi. When they were going on the road, what they would do is they would daven early. That's referring to Shmona Esrei. When the time for Kriyas Shema came, they would then say Shema. And according to that, they essentially would not be somech geula l'tfila. Keman, who does that follow? Ki Aitana Tanya follows the following brisa, which says, Hishkim lotzes l'derech. If a person gets up to go on the road, mevi'in lo shofar v'tokeya, they should bring him a shofar and he should blow shofar. Lulav v'mananeh, he should shake lulav if he needs to. Megillah v'koreba, they should bring him Megillah if it's time to read the Megillah, and he should read it. Uchshiagias man Kriyas Shema, when Kriyas Shema comes, Koreh, he should read Kriyas Shema. Hishkim leishev b'korona b'sfina. A person's getting up, he's going in a wagon, he's going in a boat, he's going on a trip. Misbal, he should daven. Ukshiagias man Kriyas Shema, when Kriyas Shema comes, Koreh, he should read Kriyas Shema. That follows what the father of Shmuel and Levi did, where they davened earlier before the trip, and then they would daven Kriyas Shema at the time for Kriyas Shema. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar says, "Ben kach uven kach korei Kriyas Shema mispal." A person should always say Kriyas Shema and then daven kadei sheyismoch geula l'tfila, in order to put geula next to tefillah. B'mai kamiflagi. What is the machlokas here? Mar savar tefillah umad adif. One says it's better to daven standing up, so daven before you go on the trip. Umar savar mismach geula l'tfila adif. It's better to be somech geula l'tfila, so better to wait to daven Shmona Esrei for the time of Shema. Now the Gemara is a story, similar idea. Mereimar Umar Zutra have a mechanfi be'asara b'shabsa derigla. So there was on Shabbos by the holidays, Mereimar and Umar Zutra used to darsh, and they used to give a shir, and they would not be able to daven. So what they would do is, during the time of the shir, they would gather 10 people and have a private minyan beforehand. Umatzlo, when they would daven, v'hadar nafkal apirka, then they would go out to give the shir. Rav Ashi, what about Rav Ashi? So Matzli Bahadei Tzibura Biyachin Miyushav. He would actually daven during the shir Biyachidus while he was sitting down. Rashi explains what this part means. Rashi says here in the top corner, Rav Ashi Haya Rosh Yeshiva B'Masa Mechasya. Rav Ashi was a Rosh Yeshiva in Masa Mechasya v'Doresh, and he would darshan there. He gives shiurim. V'Uloyam Espalel Kodem Beis HaMedrash. He wouldn't daven early before he came. Elikashemagias Man Kriyas Shema. But what would happen is that when the time for Kriyas Shema came, Lochesh Harbe Yachad LeMetorgman. He would whisper a lot of the shir at once to the person who was announcing the Metorgman of the shir. Ha'omed Lefanav, who was standing in front of him. V'Od Sham Metorgman Mashmil Rabim. And when the Metorgman then repeated what Rav Ashi said to the public, so he had a little bit of a time there. Who korei Shema, he would read Shema, v'somech gula tefila misbalel miyushav, and he'd be somech gula tefila, and he would daven sitting down. Shaloya rotza lotzes, because he didn't even want to leave the room. Shalola atriach esat tzibur lokam mipanav. He didn't want to bother the tzibur that they should have to stand up for him. So Rav Ashi essentially did not take any of the advice from before, and instead he would daven during the time of the shir. So the Gemara says, then the Gemara finishes what he did. When he got home, he would daven standing up. He would daven again. So Amri l'Rabban, and the rabbi said to him, why don't you do like Mereimar and Mar Zutra? Why don't you gather a little minyan beforehand in your house? So he said, Amar Lu, he said to them, Trichali Milsa. That's a bother for me. What he meant to say was, it's a bother that I should delay the Beis Medrash, delay the shir until after I daven. So the Gemara said, V'liyavid Mar Ke'avua de Shmuel v'Levi. Okay, so why not do like the father of Shmuel and Levi? What did they do? They would daven early, and they weren't somech geula to tefillah. Amar Lu, he said, Lo chazinu l'Rabbanim kashishi mina and davdiach. I didn't see the elder Rabbanim do this, so I did not want to do it in this method. We now continue with the Mishnah. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah Omer. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says, Ein tefillas hamusaf and ela b'chaver ir. We only daven musaf Ein tfilas musaf el b'chavir. We only daven musaf if there's a tzibur. If there's a congregation, there's no musaf b'yechidus as an individual. This refers to days when there, of course, when there is a tfilas musaf. The chachamim omrim b'chavir ir v'shelo b'chavir. Chachamim say no, musaf applies whether there's a minyan, whether there's no minyan, whether there's a tzibur or not. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Mishmo. Rabbi Yehuda says in his name, meaning in the name of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, who we just quoted, Kol Makam Shiyei Sham Chaver. Anytime there is a congregation present in the city, Yachid Pater Mitfilas Musaf, and an individual is Pater from Musaf. This sounds similar to the first quote of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, which said that it's only in a congregation. And here it says anytime there's a congregation, a Yachid is Pater. The Gemara now asks, Rabbi Yehuda Haina Tanakama, isn't Rabbi Yehuda the same as the Tanakama? Gemara says, Ika Benai, no, there's a difference between them. Yachid Shalo B'Chaver. What if you have an individual, but there is no congregation around? Tanakama Savar Pater. Tanakama was saying, the first opinion in Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah was saying, that a Yachid never davens Musaf. It's only done with a congregation, so even if there's no congregation around, the Yachid doesn't daven Musaf. Rabbi Yehuda Savar Chayber. Rabbi Yehuda says, no. A Yachid all by himself would daven Musaf. He's only Pater if there's a tzibur davening in the area. Amar Rav Huna bar Chinna, Rav Huna bar Chinna says, Amar Rav Chia bar Rav, name of Rav Chia bar Rav, halacha Rabbi Yehuda she'amar mishum Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. This is the halacha like Rabbi Yehuda in the name of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Amar le Rav Chia bar Avin, shaper kamret, Rav Chia bar Avin said to him, it's good what you're saying, it is correct. The Amar Shmuel, because Shmuel said, Miyamai lo matzlina tzlusa de musafin biyachid. I never daven the tefillah of Musaf biyachid. We're going to continue the story on Daf Lamed Amud Beis of Shmuel davening Musaf in the city of Nahardoi.